So this is a video I've been wanting to do for a while. A little game room tour at our place. Starting here, got two movie posters of two of what I'm pretty sure are two of the worst movies ever made. I unfortunately remember seeing both of these in the theater. Over here, full-size, one of my favorite pieces in the entire room. Full-size Mike Tyson's Punch-Out poster for the NES, one of my favorite games of all time. Had that signed by Mike Tyson actually a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Had that framed. Love the way it came out. Over here, have to have this. A poster of one of the greatest games ever made, no doubt. And you can't not have an NES blanket, right? Poster of one of my favorite arcade games ever, Donkey Kong, the original, not Donkey Kong Jr. Couple more things here. The Wii U gamepad, Console Wars. This is really a great book that I've been reading. I'm about halfway through it. Really good marketing book too, surprisingly. And then just a bunch of stuff down here on this light. Love the 8-bit figures. Found those on eBay actually. Mario Kart. And then this I thought was so cool. Found this on eBay a few months back. Figure of Batman from the NES game, which I think is the only time he's ever been purple. Love that though. Then some more stuff. The figures are mostly all off of eBay. You can't find anything cool like that at a flea market or garage sale anymore. And then a complete in-box copy of probably and easily the greatest game on the NES, Super Mario Bros. 3. And then one of my favorite pieces also, making a mess, one of my favorite pieces also, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, the cartoon from when I was a kid. Actually signed by Captain Lou Albano, who played Mario on the show. I had this here in front of it, but it fell over. And then just a few more down here, mainly WWF Hasbro's. One of the coolest figure lines they ever had. And then Jade from Mortal Kombat. And then skipping over here, because I just saw it on the side here, is this extra NES Classic that I came across a couple weeks ago. I'm actually going to be giving this away, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I just need to get the website done, which I've had really not that much time for. But once that's up and running, hopefully in a couple weeks, I'm going to give this away, actually. And then some more stuff up here. Thought these were really cool. Picked these up off of eBay not too long ago. The giant Link and Mario, 20 inches tall, so towering over everything. And then Mega Man, some more stuff. I actually love these. I got these imported from Japan. They're figures of the Mario Brothers arcade game, and then one from the original Super Mario. But I love those. And then up here, two smaller posters of two of my favorite arcade games. This is one that I would love to own the cabinet of someday. I just have never really seen one for sale. WrestleFest, and then WrestleMania the arcade game, which was pretty cool in Phoenix a couple weeks ago at a barcade. I got to play that again, which was awesome, on a full cabinet. And then a signed poster of the 1993 Royal Rumble, which they made a Super Nintendo and Genesis game off of, which I love. Signed by Bret Hart and Scott Hall. And then coming over here, a couple more posters, Super Mario Bros. 3, and then again the Mario Brothers arcade game, which I love. Another one I'd actually love to own the cabinet of someday. Some more stuff. And then a couple boxed copies of NES games. Dr. Mario is actually my favorite video game of all time. I could play that forever in one sitting. And then on this shelf, not sure what's going to go on that top shelf yet. But then down here, a couple of the unlicensed NES games by Tengen. A couple of Famicom games, which I wasn't able to play till recently. Famicom, for those that don't know, that was the Japanese equivalent of the NES. Then the shelf here with Super Nintendo. I don't really collect for the Super Nintendo. I pretty much just went back and bought the games that I loved as a kid, or mostly those, and then a few that I've wanted to try. So, and then of course, this is my favorite game easily on the system. Don't even know how many times I've played through that. Crazy that it never got a sequel either. And then down here, a small Game Boy collection with the Super Game Boy, which was the adapter back in the day to play these on your TV on the Super Nintendo. But just Dr. Mario, some of the Wario Land games. And then down here, same thing. Pretty much just bought for the N64 what I grew up playing or loved playing and wanted to try. And some of you might know that these never came with end labels. Got these off of eBay. These are fantastic. And then the adapter that came with Pokemon Stadium. Then down here, some Wii U games. That's a console that I picked up a few months ago and think it's criminally underrated, and I've been having a blast with it. A lot of great games. And then some more crappy movies and cartoons based on Nintendo games. Double Dragon, I bought that one and they sent me a copy that's completely in Korean, and I don't know what we're gonna do with that. So that's that stuff. And then the system that I mainly collect for is the NES. This is the entire NES shelf here. Starting up here, another NES Classic Edition that I picked up months back. Never opened it. I have, luckily, all 30 games that are included on it, so just kind of leaving that there as a collector's piece. Super Mario Chess, really cool set that Allie got me for Valentine's Day actually this year. And then this lunchbox, I usually just use this for storage for cords. And then these are really cool. These light up. The only problem is the battery life on them is horrible. If you ever remember having a Game Gear as a kid where it would take a lot of batteries and be dead within a couple hours, same thing for those. And then the NES shelf. Mainly what I've always collected for. Recently went over 350 games, so hopefully one day I have a full set. I think that'd be pretty awesome. The few Batman games, I love playing those. Still can't beat the original. Maybe one day. Bubble Bobble. I love playing Donkey Kong and Double Dragon. Two of my favorites then and now. And of course a lot in the NES. I mean, it had a lot of its share of crappy games too. Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, those games were terrible. Mainly big pieces of shit. Then this one's hiding up here, but the original gold cards for The Legend of Zelda. And then one that I recently was able to complete was the Mega Man series, which was awesome. This one was, for some reason, is becoming incredibly difficult to find. This was the only copy I picked this up recently that I've seen in a few years, so, you know, paid more than I wanted to and more than I should have, but it's tough. Because I don't buy games off of eBay. I only will buy them when I see them in a shop, so I feel like it keeps it fun that way. Because if I wanted that game, it would have been easy just to hop on eBay and grab it, but for me it takes the fun out of it. Some more classics, Tecmo Bowl. This one I hated as a kid because of its difficulty. Everybody, I think, remembers the Electric Seaweed if you've played it. Recently was able to beat this a few months ago and now love it. Funny how that works, right? Probably do a live stream on that at some point. then just some more down here. And then this bottom shelf right now, I mean, it'll eventually be filled with NES games, but right now it's just storage for controllers and whatnot. So that's the NES collection. Then coming over here on the TV is actually the only homebrew that I own. Yeah, pretty much the most difficult NES game I've ever played. It's a hack of the original Super Mario. And then just over here, the console setup that I have right now, which I loved when I put the room together, but I'm not too crazy about it now, and probably will switch it up somehow, you know, instead of using the shelf. But the three right now are the Retron 5, which I picked up recently, which is pretty cool. It does have the worst controller I've ever used. Luckily, it has controller ports. It plays NES, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SNES, Famicom, Super Famicom, and Genesis. And then this one here, the classic N64, and the Wii U, which I said previously that I've picked up recently and have fallen in love with it, and it's criminally underrated. And then lastly, another underrated game, Super Mario Brothers 2. And then you have to have the light switch cover. But that's it. Looking forward to having a bigger game room eventually, but this will work for now and I love it. And thanks for watching.